Good morning, I'm here today with Chef Klaus at SeaWorld Resort.
Welcome to SeaWorld Resort. Today I'll show you how we make some freshly baked buttermilk scones. The recipe is quite simple, requires just a few ingredients. We start on a tray. We have about 500 grams of self-raising flour. Put all this on a tray. I like to put a little bit of salt into my dough.
And it's on a tray, not in a mixing bowl.
It's on a tray because you need to just gently mix it together. And we have about 125 to 140 grams of butter. Put that on top. And we have about 150 grams of sugar to get a bit of sweetness into this. And then we just rub that gently through. The reason is self-raising flour. You don't work it too much, it needs to stay soft, otherwise it won't raise anymore.
Now some people, when they're making the scone recipe, they actually get a can of lemonade and add it in around about now. How do you feel about
now,
that?
I feel fantastic about it. It's just another trick. If you just use normal flour, your lemonade is sort of a self-raising agent. We use it in my country as well.
So how do you know how much to mix it without over-mixing or over-kneading?
As long as it stays nice and loose when it falls through your hand like this. And then, Kim, if you take a bit of buttermilk, put it over the top for me, that would be fantastic. Your hands a bit dirty here. Yeah, just sprinkle it right across. Yeah. One more spoon.
Another spoon.
So it's 2 kitchen spoons, we would say, to this amount.
So it's all coming together now.
Yeah. I just start working it a little bit longer. And I need 1 more spoon of buttermilk. Different flours can sometimes take a little bit more moisture.
So is this one of your favorite things to cook for Mother's Day?
Absolutely. Every mother should be spoiled with a little baked fresh scone, a bit of fresh jam, house-made jam, some whipped cream with vanilla essence, and lots of sugar to sweeten the thing up.
Now it looks like you're getting in there with some elbow grease.
Not too much.
Not too much still. And what are some of the other things that mothers can look forward to at the Mother's Day
The other
lunch?
things on the Mother's Day lunch, obviously we have our finger sandwiches, traditional with the smoked salmon, cream cheese and cucumber and some capers and red onions. Then we have a little tartlet out of sun-dried tomatoes and a little bit of a crab meat salad on top. Obviously endless coffee and tea and a glass of champagne. How does that sound?
That sounds amazing.
So now I take it off this board. Take that board away. Just put a little bit of flour where we're gonna roll it out.
Why do you put the flour on the board?
So it doesn't stick. Now it's just loosened up. The dough is not worked too much.
Okay.
We have it, shape it into a ball.
I've graduated to my chef's
Fantastic, Kim.
Thank you.
Now we come to the next part. You have to pull your rolling pin out of your drawer. Only for one reason, for the dough, for nothing else. Sometimes people get scared when the chef brings the rolling pin out. So we roll it out about, let's say, how thick is that? Probably 4 or 5 centimeters.
1 knuckle thick?
Yeah,
Is that
1
a
knuckle
chef's
thick.
measurement?
Yeah. Then we take a cutter, pretty simple.
For those of us without fancy cutters, can we use a mug?
You can use a mug. If you don't have a rolling pin, you can use your cling wrap roll or a wine bottle.
A wine bottle? A champagne bottle?
Or a champagne bottle even. And we just keep cutting them out. You don't work it too much, you just fold it back together a little bit. Reshape it, re-roll it. Out of this recipe you should get 10 scones out.
Now you've homemade this beautiful raspberry jam here this morning. For those of us who aren't jam makers, is there a particular jam that you recommend?
Traditionally we use strawberry jam, but today, this morning, I made fresh raspberry jam. Very simple. You just take a small pot, like a 1 kilo pot, take 500 grams fresh or frozen raspberries, add a little bit of white wine, add a little bit of lemon zest, and then probably about 150 to 200 grams of sugar, and then boil it for about 25 minutes, and then chill it in your fridge, and you will see once you put it on these freshly baked boys, it will taste amazing.
So this looks like the fun part.
This is the fun part. Here we then have some buttermilk. I fill it down with a little bit of water, because if it's too thick like this one, what happens, they will go quite very quick. So just a little touch so you get a nice golden brown color after they're baked. Brush this on with a simple pastry brush. If you don't have a pastry brush, just take a little spoon, drizzle it on and swivel around. That's the same trick. All right, and you put the boys
into the oven. Where's the
in
oven?
the oven.
Okay.
You're going for a walk. Follow. So you can see the oven is preset on baking. There's a commercial oven at home. You can use your fan force oven. Put it on 175 degrees and then we bake it between around 15 minutes.
So Klaus, one could argue this is the most important part of the recipe, the cream. What's your trick for whipping the cream?
It's KitchenAid. The old-fashioned way. Let's put it that way. You have a bowl, a whisk, and then it's just go by the number 8. And get as much air in as you can so it stays nice and fluffy. Here in the cream we have a little bit of lemon zest, vanilla essence, and sugar. Keep it nice and sweet. Almost ready. 175, 30 seconds to go. Let's open the door. Check the boys out. Color is beautiful. Nice and golden on the top with a few brown tips. You need to give them a little bit of rest for a minute or two. Now we had our break. Speed it up so we can cut them. So you can see nice, beautiful.
Oh my gosh.
Nice and beautifully cooked. Get the icing sugar on top. Scones, there's a couple of other things. If you make your dough, you can use some sultanas or raisins to give them a little bit of a lift, or some dried fruits, a bit of crushed nuts, walnuts, or those kind of nuts would be nice with it. Today with the scones I made some raspberry jam, pretty simple recipe, I think I explained it before. And then we have some cream, which we whipped, and it's such an easy thing to do. Whack on the freshly whipped cream, put some house-made jam on top, and then
Oh my gosh.
I think, who will try this one?
Absolutely do have to go for it. This looks incredible.
And then there's the other recipe. You can just go and take a little bit of butter and taste it.
How is it?
Break it up. You will taste. I put a pinch of salt in, but now with the sweetness of the whipped cream and the sweetness of the jam, it's a very nice balance between.
Absolutely incredible.
Every mother should be spoiled with a little baked fresh scone.